Warning, the following video will contain content that is not appropriate for children. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome back, bitches, for some more of my Pokemon Battle Revolution discussion battles. Fuck yeah. So, sometimes I get the question, hey, Multi-Step, what made you want to become a YouTuber? And, there's multiple factors, I've always had a love for video games, when I was 5 years old, I got my very first video game system, that being the Sega Genesis. And I played the hell out of that thing back in the day. I had a decent amount of games for it. Had Sonic the Hedgehog 2, fucking Golden Axe, Streets of Rage 2, trying to think of some of the other ones. John Madden Football 92. And I had some of the Disney games as well, like The Lion King, Aladdin. Trying to think of some other ones. Toy Story. I was never really good at that one though. The Jungle Book. I actually could get decently far in that game, but I still wasn't that great at it. But yeah, there's again, there's multiple reasons why I got into YouTubing, but the reason why I got into gaming, really, I should say the reason why I got into gaming is because, honestly, ever since I was a kid, I've always found reality to be just so disappointing. And that has strengthened much throughout the years. I used to be a little bit happier as a kid, I would say. But even as a kid, there were moments where I was just like, I fucking hate this world. This stupid world of ours that we're forced to live in. It's just such a disappointment, Whereas in the virtual world, in the world of the video game, you are not bound by what is possible. You are only bound by what is possible within the limits of the human imagination, which is basically limitless. And that's why I fell in love with the virtual world. It was partially because of my hatred for the real world that I, really fell in love with video games. It really struck a chord with me because I could leave this world and go to a world of pure imagination where I could do all these amazing things. Where I could have these epic Pokemon battles where, you have a fucking water penguin battling a ghost, that's fucking epic. Fucking awesome. Or little ghost guy, battling a fire monkey and kicking the shit out of it, apparently, which is awesome. That's awesome. Can that happen in the real world? No. No, it can't. I've honestly found, and this is mostly caused by other people, but I'm just going to say that reality is oftentimes disappointing. And video games really have helped me through some of the hardest times of my life. And that's kind of why I decided to start YouTubing also, is to, share my happiness with the rest of the world. Because I have never felt better, I have never felt more alive than in the world of a video game. Because here's the thing, what happens in the real world, that actually matters. But what happens in the world of the video game doesn't matter because it isn't real. And that's actually the reason why I like video games so much. And you guys might be thinking to yourselves, what? But that's actually the reason why I like video games, is because you know, I may get to a part in a video game that I can't beat. You know, there may be a boss fight that I just cannot win. You know, that I don't have the skills to win, but guess what? It doesn't matter because it's just a video game. It isn't real. If I can't beat the boss, oh well. I go to a different video game, enter a whole new world, and go from there. But in the real world, if you can't win a boss fight, so to speak, whatever that might be, that actually matters. And it's frustrating because it matters. But that's part of the reason why I love video games so much. To live in a world of pure imagination, where anything can happen, just feels so amazing to me. And you know, movies do that to a certain extent. Same thing with TV shows and shit. They do that to a certain extent. But the difference between video games and movies is that with video games, you're actually making the story happen. You're actually a part of the story, and it feels awesome. But that's part of the reason why I fell in love with video games so much, is just because, for me personally, the real world has been nothing but a massive, especially the past several years, has been nothing but a massive disappointment. The real world has been truly a massive disappointment to me, personally. It just seems like it's just one fucking disappointment after another. You know, most people would look at my life and consider me to be a failure. You know, I've probably failed half the fucking college classes that I've taken. You know, here I am, some guy in my mid-20s still working as a host at a restaurant, you know, like I haven't accomplished anything basically in my life besides graduating from high school, and that's about it. You know, what do I have in this real world? In this real world, most people would consider me to be a fucking loser. And to a certain extent, they're not wrong. Based on what this society and this world considers to be success versus failure, I would be considered a failure. Hands down. Even I admit that. But in the world of the video game, it doesn't matter. And you know, going off on a bit of a tangent here, but you know, most people would consider me to be a failure, but it's about how you measure success. Like, yes, I think that when it comes to college, like, college was a huge mistake. Biggest mistake I think I've ever made in my life was going to college. It has been absolutely nothing but a complete waste of my time and money. Like, honest to God, going to college was one of the stupidest, hands down, stupidest decisions I've ever made. The only reason why I went to college is because I was told my whole life, you know, in order to make anything of yourself, in order to succeed at all in any kind of level, you have to go to college and get a, you know, like a 4-year degree or whatever. School is just not my thing. I am very bad at school because I find it to be incredibly boring. Like, the more and more I took college classes, the more and more I'm like, why the fuck am I paying thousands of dollars to sit in class and be bored out of my mind all day? This is fucking stupid. Why the fuck am I doing this to myself? I'm not getting anything out of it. I'm failing a bunch of classes, literally just wasting money. Like, if I had saved all the money that I've wasted on failing college classes, I'd have so much more money right now. It's not even funny. You know, and granted, I've still managed to remain debt-free. Granted, because I paid for all my colleges out, paid for all my college classes out of my own pocket and shit. Paid it in full. But if I had that money back, and if I had that time back, I would be so much further along in my plans by now. Hell, I might even have my own fucking house by now if I hadn't wasted my time on fucking college. The biggest regret of my life was going to college. So if I had that time and money back, I would have been able to do so much more shit that I would have enjoyed. I would have been able to play a lot more video games for you guys and do shit that I actually enjoy instead of wasting my time sitting in class paying thousands of dollars to be bored out of my fucking mind. How fucking stupid is that? You know, like, fucking really? Looking back on it, I can't believe how stupid of a decision that was. But more to the main topic is just that reality, honestly, has just been one big disappointment for me personally. And, you know, with this plan that I have now to buy up a bunch of video games and then save up a bunch of money and just buy a house somewhere, you know, again, to my dad's credit, I've been given a golden opportunity here at my dad's house with him not charging me for rent and shit. I'm able to just save up money, save up money, save up money, save up money, and then hopefully buy my own house. I mean, that's a golden opportunity. Very golden opportunity. So I am really hoping I'm able to pull off this plan of mine. I really, really hope to Jesus motherfucking Christ that I'm able to pull this off. So if I'm able to pull this off, it's going to be fucking insane. I mean, to have my own house by my late 20s would be, or even early 30s would be amazing. So I really hope I'm able to pull this off. But again, more like I was talking about, you know, it's all about how you measure success. Do I consider myself an overall failure? No. You know why? Because I'm sitting here right now with like 11 video game systems and an unbelievable amount of video games. I worked hard at my job to make all that happen. All this shit, I wasn't just handed money. Fuck no, I went out and worked for it. I earned it. I earned the right to say I have a massive video game collection of probably at this point over 800 games. I earned that throughout these years. Does that sound like a fucking failure to you? Because that sure as hell don't sound like a fucking failure to me. I've managed to put together a massive collection of video games, and that counts for something. It's a reminder to me that I'm at least worth something. You know, where other people consider me a failure, I look at this and I consider it a massive success. I mean, I have a now massive collection of video games, and I worked hard to put that together, and it's fucking awesome. So you know what? No. I don't consider myself a failure where other people do. I consider myself a success thus far. I consider myself a failure in certain aspects, but overall, I don't think I'm a failure. And if I'm able to pull off my plan, I'm going to prove them all wrong. My whole life I've been fed the lie. Go to college, go to college, go to college, go to college. Well, guess what? If I pull my plan off, I'm going to prove them all wrong. And that will be my ultimate revenge. And it will be tasty as fuck. So, yeah, honestly, again, though, main reason why I went to college is just because of the pressure that was put on me to go to college. And that was a regrettable choice. Very regrettable choice. I shouldn't have let the pressure get to me. I should have told my mom to go fuck herself when she told me, you know, go to college. You have to go to college or whatever. I should have told her to go fuck herself. I should have told everyone to go fuck themselves. But I didn't. And I paid the price. Literally. This tuition ain't fucking cheap. But society has always put this pressure on me. Society has always made me at times feel like I'm a failure. But again, you know, when I sit here and I look at what I've managed to do, what I've managed to accomplish with putting together, in my opinion, one of the most unique video game collections in history, I don't think that's a failure. I think that's something that I can look at and be proud of. Say, you know what? That's a fucking success. But yet, reality continues to be just one disappointment after another. I think most people would agree with me at this point, especially given this whole COVID bullshit. Reality is just so disappointing, and that's why I fell in love with video games. It's all about escapism. Because I wanted so badly to escape this world for as long as I could remember. Even as a kid, I just always thought this world was so disappointing. I wanted nothing more than to just escape it and go to all these magical worlds, do all these cool and fun things. And with video games, I can do that. And to me, it's an amazing and beautiful thing. Alright, well, either way, guys, that will do it for that one. So stay tuned for the next fight. And until then, peace out.